These Mandela effects are going to make you question your reality. I love a good Mandela effects video. Obviously, I've been doing them for like 10 years, and honestly, I don't get sick of it. But today we have a lot of new Mandela effects to talk about. I've been seeing these all over social media, and honestly, you guys keep sending me them, so I keep making these videos. I love it. The first Mandela effect, I need to know if this is just me or not, because it kind of made me feel a little crazy. But Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. I always remember Skater Boy being spelled like this, 100,000%. Why is boy spelled B-O-I? I don't know that. I feel like that's like kind of a recent trend to spell boy like that. Not that recent, but definitely less recent than this freaking song. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Skater Boy? Like, why? I feel like the skater is already different. It was enough. I just feel like it looks so wrong when I look at it on Spotify. And I was a huge Avril Lavigne stan. So I need to hear your guys' thoughts on this because it drove me a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. And also, I feel like whenever I talk about Avril Lavigne, there are two other Mandela effects that I literally just have to mention again, just to reiterate. One, why was Avril Lavigne never on a Got Milk ad? That's wrong. That is so wrong because I can picture it so vividly. I know exactly where it was hung in my cafeteria in elementary school. Get a grip. How does that not exist? And two, speaking of Skater Boy, why does everyone remember in the Skater Boy music video when she sings feeding the baby, she's all alone? I remember a girl so vividly feeding a baby and watching TV where the Skater Boy's on TV. Never happens. Literally never happened. The girl is like not seen in the music video, but I like can vividly picture her in like a pink spaghetti strap top, so perfectly like holding a literal baby. What is that? What is that? Doesn't exist. All right, the next Mandela effect is one that genuinely freaked me out because I have done so many different videos on Marilyn Monroe. I've talked about her. Obviously, a lot of people think her death was suspicious and had to do with JFK. There's so many different conspiracy theories there that like naturally, she's someone I probably make a video on at least once a year, which is like kind of a lot for the last 10 years. But nonetheless, Marilyn Monroe's real name is Norma Jean, which a lot of people know. I always remember it being spelled like this. And recently, I think I was playing trivia and that's where I saw it. But when the fuck did Norma Jean end up spelling like Jean with an E at the end? No, that never was there. I swear it. Like, this actually freaked me out a lot. It freaked me out a lot. I need to know if I'm alone in this because honestly, I don't think I can't be. I literally can't be because I know for a fact it was just Norma Jean. Like Gean. Please let me know. Please let me know before I go insane. All right, the next Mandela effect is those Tony's Chocolonely bars. I feel like these are super popular chocolate bars, and I've always thought that they were called Tony's Chocolonely. Since fucking when has it been Tony's Chocolonely? I've never seen that or heard someone say that in my life. Ever. It just has to be Tony's Chocolonely. Right? I don't know. Now I'm like feeling confused and I need someone to let me know. So if you're like a huge chocolate lover, please let me know what you remember because I definitely remember it being Chocolonely, not Chocolonely. Why is he lonely? Why is he lonely? What does that mean? The next Mandela effect came to me while watching The Basement Yard. I love those Basement Boys. Their podcast is hilarious, but they were talking about how the Trojan horse, like, where during the Trojan War, like, there was a literal wooden horse where people hid in and, like, attacked that, like, the Trojan horse. You know the story of the Trojan horse. That is not real. That's Greek mythology. Did anyone fucking know that? I mean, the Basement Boys didn't know that. But I swear that's a Mandela effect because I literally had to take a Greek mythology class in high school. And I don't understand how the hell that's like a fake thing. There's no evidence that the Trojan horse actually happened. I thought that was a legitimate thing that happened. And I feel kind of stupid, honestly. Like, is that the American education system or is it a Mandela effect? Because I swear that the Trojan horse was a real thing that legitimately happened. I like remember learning about it in history, not like in Greek mythology. I'm honestly concerned with that one, I can't lie. Especially because I was really obsessed with Greek mythology as a kid. I grew up in like the Greek capital of America, so I was really into Greek mythology. I took several classes on it, and so the fact that I like never learned about it in that class, but only learned about it in history, I'm like, how is it fake? How is it fake? Like, it's like the same story as like hearing about the Greek gods and goddesses, which in my heart, they are real. So like, I don't know, I'm kind of on my own on that. But still, what do you fucking mean? Like, I thought this was like a legitimate thing that occurred. Just didn't. Don't like that. Or at least there's no evidence of it. But some people think that it maybe happened. I hate that. I hate that a lot. All right, the next Mandela effect is so niche, and if you're a Vampire Diaries fan, you're gonna have to let me know what you remember, especially if you rewatch the series multiple times, because I honestly, for the last year, have just been in a continual loop of watching Vampire Diaries originals and legacies and then back again. But honestly, lately, I've just been rewatching Vampire Diaries. Like, I don't even want to watch the others right now. But I swear, and spoiler alert, I guess, but when Rebecca takes what she thinks is the cure, but it's really just a shot of her vein, she takes the cure, she wakes up, and then Damon is like, okay, well now we can kill her, throws like an arrow at her, and she catches it. And someone says, vampire reflexes. I don't remember which of the three said it. And then Rebecca's like, I'm still a vampire. She never says, or they never say, vampire reflexes. That was never in there, and it just sounds like something's missing. And I'm so confused by this, because you have to understand, it's not like I watched this 10 years ago and I'm just rewatching it now. Like, I've been rewatching it consistently for the past year. How is that wrong? Like, how would I be wrong? I don't know. It's freaking me out, genuinely. And I need someone who's a huge Vampire Diaries stan to agree with me here, because it made me actually feel insane when I was watching this the other day. I was just like, wait, hello? She definitely, I swear it was like Damon or Stefan said vampire reflexes, and then Rebecca's like, I'm still a vampire. Let me know. All right, the next Mandela effect is kind of crazy. I think this is one of the craziest Mandela effects to actually ever exist, because I don't know anyone who doesn't remember it like this, but Sally Fields has a very famous speech, I'm sure you've all heard it, where she's like, you like me, you really like me. Not at all what she says. Not at all.
Deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me.
How are you gonna tell me that this woman said, I can't deny the fact that you like me right now? You like me? That doesn't even sound... How did it get so misconstrued over time for people like quoting that over and over again? Like, things like that really freak me out, because like when a mass amount of people remember things incorrectly, it disturbs me. It disturbs me, because what else is that besides a Mandela effect? Butterfly effect? I don't know. I don't want the next Mandela effect to make me sound stupid, okay? I know that there are 50 states in the United States. I'm aware of that. But I swear when I was in elementary school, there was 52. And I don't know how else to like explain this. I've seen so many people talk about it on the internet and talk about it in the sense of it being a Mandela effect. I genuinely cannot believe that like there wasn't at one point 52 states like while I was growing up, because I swear that was a thing. Like when I was like, I want to say like 2007. That's like the year I would put that out. Like I know now, and I remember being an adult knowing that there's 50 states, but I swear there was 52 for a period of time. But it's also confusing because I also remember learning like the 50 nifty United States from 13, like that song. So I need to hear someone else's opinion on this, because it really makes me feel stupid. But I do like swear it feels like such a distant memory that I don't really know how to explain it. But I do have a distant feeling or memory of it being 52 for some reason. And I need to hear someone's thoughts on that, because makes me feel stupid. All right, the next Mandela effect is the craziest proof I have ever seen. and it's about Fruit of the Loom. So we all know the Mandela Effect, where everyone literally on Earth that I've spoken to remembers there being a cornucopia in the Fruit of the Loom logo, 100,000%. But according to Fruit of the Loom, and according to all documentation of their previous logos, the cornucopia was never there, ever. But recently I saw this jazz musician named Frank West, who has a album from like 1973 called Flute of the Loom, like a play on Fruit of the Loom. And there's literally a fucking cornucopia on the album cover. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? Please let me know. If anyone on Earth actually remembers there not being a cornucopia, let me know. I don't believe it's us being gaslit or like whatever people are saying. I genuinely think this is like proof of a Mandela effect. Genuine, perfectly packaged proof, because I know for a fact there was a fucking cornucopia. But if you look, unless we're capable of scrubbing absolutely everything from the internet, but that doesn't really make sense, because then also you would have to change everything in people's houses, which I've seen like a couple of different like proof like logos of the Fruit of the Loom. Like I think I've only seen one actually of Fruit of the Loom like having like a little logo on someone's shirt that had a cornucopia, but for the most part there really is no other evidence of actual Fruit of the Loom ever having that logo. They claim they never had the logo. You can look their logo up online, and I don't know. It's really upsetting. It's honestly really upsetting to me, and it freaks me out. My girlfriend is really smart, and she literally thinks the Mandela Effect is so stupid. This is the one that gets her. She's like, just refuses to believe it in general, actually. She's like, obviously there was a cornucopia. Like, she thinks I'm gaslighting her. Like, girl, no. We're all being gaslit, unfortunately. All right, the next Mandela Effect is from the movie Cars. The opening scene of Cars is super iconic, and it has this song playing where the lyrics, I swear, are I'm American made apple pie Chevrolet. Why are the lyrics I'm American made Bud Light Chevrolet? Bud Light Chevrolet. In a children's movie, Bud Light? Come on. No fucking way. There's just no way. I refuse to believe that Disney, like, not only do I remember apple pie, but I refuse to believe that Disney chose a song and left, like, Bud Light in a children's movie. Okay, Pixar, but same. Like, what the fuck is that? No! I need to hear what you guys remember, because I'm disturbed by that. Disturbed. All right, the next Mandela Effect comes from the Hunger Games. I have only seen the Hunger Games once, and I remember this. Hunger Games stands are gonna have to let us know, because honestly, I don't fucking know. I never really liked it. Sorry. But in the Hunger Games, I remember there being a point where one of the tributes steps off the platform too early, and in the first game, and it just like blows up. I swear that this happened, and I saw people talk about it on TikTok, and it never happened. Like, that's like not even, there's not even a remotely similar scene. What the fuck is that? I don't know. And I'm gonna need a Hunger Games fan to clarify here if you remember that, because I've, like I said, only seen it once, and it still like was ingrained in my head. So that's what's confusing to me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let us know. The next Mandela Effect is one that's just kind of crazy. It's about Depends diapers. The adult diapers classic brand has always just been called Depend. And my issue here is how freaking wrong the logo looks. It's kind of absurd. Like, actually look at that and tell me when you've ever seen that in your life. It has always been Depends. Always. And I swear I know this so well, because of Aquamarine. I have memorized every freaking line in that movie. And when they're talking about how like Aquamarine's hair looks like a grandma because it's blue, I don't know why they said that anyway, but they're like, what are you wearing, dentures or Depends? And they still say that, but still, it was Depends. It was Depends. It's the logo for me that kills me though. That looks so wrong on so many levels. I don't know. Speaking of logos looking wrong, I know that we have talked about Kit Kat before, but I think we need to reiterate it, because sometimes I look at a Kit Kat and I'm just like, what the actual hell is that? What is that? How is there no dash between Kit and Kat? I can see it perfectly in my head, not only can I see it in my head and I remember there being a dash, but the actual logo itself just looks wrong. Like, there's no two ways about it. That's wrong. I'm gonna cry. And again, I guess if you're a huge chocolate lover, let us know what you remember. But honestly, I haven't found anyone who remembers it just being Kit Kat instead of Kit-Kat. So I don't know. The last Mandela effect I want to talk about is about the Rubik's Cube. I always thought a Rubik's Cube was spelled like this. And honestly, I don't know. I've always kind of hated Rubik's Cubes because I've never been able to solve them. But I always remember Rubik's Cubes being spelled with an X at the end, but it's actually always been spelled with a K apostrophe S. Like, who is Rubik? Is he the person who made it? That could be true. Okay, so yeah, the inventor of the Rubik's Cube's last name is in fact Rubik with a K. But you know what? I'm not gonna let that stop me from calling it a Mandela effect, because if we did that, then we would have to do that with the Berenstain Bears, because their last name in real life, the people who wrote it, is technically Berenstain. So I'm just gonna say it's still a Mandela effect in my heart, but let me know what you remember, because that one, I don't know. When I look at that, it just looks so incorrect to me, and I need to hear your guys' thoughts. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these Mandela effects. And if you guys have any Mandela effects that you want me to talk about, leave them in the comments below. And also, if you have personal Mandela effects, please let us know so that we can read them. I love reading about people's personal Mandela effects, because I have personal Mandela effects that happen to me all the time that I don't talk about because no one else would be able to relate to it. But it's kind of crazy, and I need to hear your guys' personal ones, so leave them in the comments below. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!